And here we are, game number 2 of the best of 3 series between Patience and Namshar in the quarterfinals of the Go4sc2 2 Cup. Number 394. Spawning in the 9 o'clock position as a red Zerg player, currently down 1 point. It is Namshar from Carnage Esports. And he is facing off against the blue Protoss player who has spawned in the 1 o'clock position. From Alien Invasion, it is Patience. Now 7 gateways, beats the 3 gates, beats the 3 hatch before pool, excuse me. And he was able to bust through with that very long reinforcement line. It was looking very dire for him with that first attack being shut down. I really thought that Namshar had a fighting chance, but then more sentries came. The zealots, the Zerglings could not connect good enough anymore. And Patience was just able to take the favorable ends of those fights. And that was pretty much the end of the game for Namshar right there. But again, we do see a gateway opening. Patience is going to send out that scout immediately after that. He wants to know where his opponent is and what his opponent is up to. If he wants to be so incredibly greedy once more, or if he's going to play it a little bit more conservative. Now in this setup, it's always going to be a little bit of a question for a Zerg player. Which third base are you going to take? Are you going to take this base a little bit to the front, or this base? You cannot really expand away from your opponent unless you take this one. But that is going to make it very much open, because there's not going to be creep spread in that area anytime soon. So that's pretty much a no-go. But once again, Namshar has gone for that hatchery first. The probe is going to be followed by that probe a little bit. And is he going to do it again? Yeah, he's going to do it again. He's sending out a drone, and is he? No, he's not. Is he just going to scout out? No, he's going to go for the 3 hatch before pool once again. It doesn't work out the first time. Just try it again. See if it works out then. And I cannot blame him for that. In the last setup, it was pretty good for him. Once again, we do see that the gas has come down. I just hope that he can get the roaches out a little bit faster. But the Overlord already got a full scouted off. 4 probes on 2 assimilators. So there is a little bit of gas income for Patience at this point too. It might force out Spore Cross if he goes for air units. But at least the Nexus will come down fairly soon. Now finally, also the spawning pool is going to be underway. Gas mining has started for Namshar with only 1 drone so far. Finally setting some extra drones to that location. So you can get that gas income high enough to go for the Zergling speed the moment that spawning pool finishes up. And the Overlord pretty much has seen everything. Now what is Patience up to? He's going to go for that gateway aggression once more. Or is he going to go and tack up, sit back, maybe take his own pretty greedy third base? Because in this spawning position, this is going to be a pretty viable option. But you still have to be very careful. It's kind of like how it was on Derelict Watcher. Where if you had your Zerg being postured at your front, he could just go harass or even kill the third base. And the moment that you went in, try to get that damage done, try to defend that third base, you would just die to the concave of the Zerg player. Now that's definitely something that can happen here, but he has to go to the later stage of this game. And there was a chrono boost on the cybernetic score, so he wants to get that gateway pressure going once more. 2 gateways at the front. Will we see that third gateway to get the edge? Yeah, there's going to be the 4 gateways. And he will be able to put on some pressure on Namshar. Namshar, with that Overlord being killed off, he was supply block for a little bit. But he's droning behind this. He has his queens out. He's just in a pretty good position for starting with a 3 hatch before pool build. If he can deny that probe from putting down the pylon, he is going to be in great shape. But finding that probe with slow links can be very tricky. First pylon already going to go down. Not the closest to Namshar, you would imagine. And of course, the Zerglings cannot see up that high ground. So let's see, the first Stalker has moved out. Warp Gate Reach is about to finish up. The gateways will be turned into Warp Gates immediately. And 2 extra gateways gonna be added on. Patience just gonna go for the same strategy we saw in game number 1. But now Zergling speed is already done. Stalker will be able to take out that Zergling. But the pylon is gonna be up. Oh, but this is going to be very, very tricky. The Stalker, will it remain alive? Nice micro on top of that Stalker to keep it alive. We do hear another pylon come down a little bit north of where the Zerglings were. A lot of Zerglings have already been forced out. That Stalker's gonna go down. But he's just gonna go straight for the counterattack. That's a lot of sentries already on the map. Did not warp in at the front just yet, but now 3 sentries and a Zealot are in position. Now he wants to move out, but this is already a lot of sentries. We do see the Roach Warren come down. Extra gas being taken. And Burrow being researched. Now that's going to be very interesting. Because with this, there are just gateways on the map for Patience. Going for Burrow, going to be amazing for him. Because there's not going to be detection. And with the Roach production that has already started right now, it's going to barrel down on top of those sentries. If they get low on health, they just burrow. And they can just continue fighting when they have regenerated their health. Very nice force field landing there. But he's already baiting out a lot of those force fields. And how many Zerglings did go down in total? 17 Zerglings. But that's a lot of energy on those sentries. Luckily for Patience, he has 1,000 of them, it looks like. 8 sentries moving forward. Stalkers at the front. But the Roach count, how high is it already? It's at 10. 6 more are about to pop. And Burrow is about to finish up. He does not want to take a fight just yet. But he wants to get on top of those sentries. Burrow is a few seconds away from being done. But the Roach get a pretty decent position right there. He burrows. And Patience must be feeling very bad right now. Force fields will be gone. And the Roach can just take the engagement. Once they get low, they can just burrow. He's just burrowing them all at the same time. That health regeneration is so insanely powerful. And he is sandwiching this army. A lot of force field energy has already been negated. Supplies are heavily in favor of Namshar, but the army of Patience is going to be very powerful right here. 4 more Roach on the way, but the proxy pilot is insanely close for Patience. But these Roaches regenerating so much of their health in such a small amount of time. He's killing all of the reinforcements. The 3rd base might be under threat right here. The force fields are beautiful. Drones are being evacuated. Does not want to lose them, but he can just burrow them too. But the force fields will go on for days. The 3rd base will most likely go down. Wait, did he go for the... No, there's no detection here, it looks like. He does not have detection, right? He did not start a robotics facility. Well, it's on the way, but it's not here just yet. Roaches want to chase this down. Lair is on the way, so these are still slow Roaches. And he's going to be happy with sniping that 3rd base. He's going to go back home. Going to tech up. Probably going to go for a 2nd push with robotics, with the Immortals here. So kind of like a Sentry Immortal. All in once again. Roaches did clean up one of the pylons. Should get rid of the extra pylons too, but he's at least sent... No, I thought he was sending one of the Zerglings around to get rid of that. Not doing so just yet. But Patience is looking to move out once again, this time with an Observer. And that Observer is going to be pretty powerful. But if these pylons are still up and running, then Patience will be able to reinforce it so incredibly easy. Now the 3rd base has already been, well, it's getting re-established for Namshar. He's immediately getting his gas guys here too. Natural base and the main base are perfectly saturated. And the creep spread is being sent forward. Now the creep spread can be pretty important in a setup like this, especially against Sentry Immortal all-ins. And the roach speed, it has been started, but it's still a long way off. But what is interesting, Namshar has immediately started his infestation pit. And now that infestation pit can be for 2 things, of course. He can try and go for fungals, but the most expected way is going to be Enduring Locust and Swarm Host. So what is that infestation pit really going to be used for? We're going to find out very soon. But it looks like Patience wants to go for a 3rd base. He has those stalkers for the defense here, but they're going to run into a lot of roaches. Now, Pathogen Glands is in fact a decision for Namshar. He just wants to go for fungal, wants to pin down those sentries, wants to pin down the entire Protoss army. The 3rd base should be coming down fairly soon for Patience. He is just waiting for the money. But with 58 workers on the map for Namshar with that 3rd base up, he's looking pretty okay. Now, 4 Infest is going to be on the way. Roach speed about to finish up. Still, this pylon has not been spotted at all. Now, other than that Pathogen glands, the hive is being warped in. Pretty nice timing for that, but he's not gonna need it for the upgrades just yet. Vipers can be very powerful, especially with those immortals. If you cannot get to those immortals and they're just raining down damage on top of your roaches, you're gonna have a pretty bad time. But Namshar will lose his creep spread right there. He'll also lose a queen. There is an observer with this army, and also Burrow's not gonna do all that much for him. Also, movement speed for the roach is not being researched at all. But 1-1 for the Zerglings is gonna be done, and Zerglings gonna be pretty effective against this army. Upgrades of patience are +1. There's a beautiful fungal on top of that ramp, but that also means that the Zerglings cannot get a perfect surround on it. Now the fungus will be pretty decent. They have peeled away the shields of the Protoss army. But this is a very aggressive push from Patient. He's looking to barrel down on this army. The Roach are going to go for the counter aggression at the natural base. The probes are here to hold them down, and we're having a base trade scenario. Fourth base is already on the way for Namshar. But the Immortals got rid of the Immortals, and the Stalkers did get rid of those evolution chambers. The natural base will fall. The Roach Warrior is also most likely going to fall. But so many workers already went down. Force fields and an Immortal are going to keep this base even just a little bit up and running. But look at that, no detection, so he can go into that location once again. The Spine Crawler wall has started at the third base, canceling the Spine Crawlers wherever they get low, because the Zealots are trying to go for that run by. But a few Spine Crawlers will get up and start hammering away at these Zealots. Oh, he's even attacking his own Spine Crawler right there. He's helping out Patience. A little bit of a mistake right there. But look at all these drones trapped in the corner. The Queen trying to defend that base. But it's not going to be enough. There's going to be the GG, and Patience takes a 2-0 victory over Namshar. So Patience will face off against Targa in the semi.